Hey y'all, welcome to Opinionated with a Side of Shade. It's Opinionated. How y'all doing? We
What's
got
up,
the legend
people?
we got the legendary Tent Wide Buck with us tonight. How y'all doing? Y'all ready for a good interview? I hope so. Buck, how you feeling?
Oh man, I'm good.
Okay. So Buck, tell us a little bit about what's going on tonight.
All right, so tonight, man, we're gonna catch y'all up. As y'all know, we had New Orleans Bounce Life season 1 and season 2. We're
Mhm.
working on season 3, also the New Orleans Bounce Awards. So we're doing a whole week of nothing but bounce. The Bounce Awards, the Bounce Battle, the Bounce Fest, you name it. We just gonna take a whole week and dedicate it to New Orleans bounce music.
Now when is the Bounce Awards?
Okay, so the Bounce Awards is Thursday, October 8th. But before then, we're going to have a few of other events leading up to that because we want to build a hype up. So we're going to have a DJ battle. We're going to also have the Bounce Festival.
Mhm.
And then we're going to do a media day. And the media day consists of like all the podcasts and all the TV, whatever. Y'all going to interview all the nominees and stuff like that. So it's just a party just for all the nominees.
Like a press junkie.
It's exactly what it is. Yep.
Okay. So you also have something else leading up to to the second annual Bounce Awards. And that's
Hmm.
season 3
Yep.
of NOLA Bounce Life.
I know
Tell
the
me a little
bouncer.
bit about that.
Yeah, so season 3, what we did was with season 1 and 2, we had a lot of new artists, up and coming artists on 1 and 2. Season
Hmm.
3, we're going to have seasoned artists, people that you all know. Yeah,
Like who?
BJ So Cold,
Okay.
Amboy Pig, Hot
Okay.
Sizzle,
Okay.
Vodka really do. Vodka is a legend. Vodka was one of the first ones, and Vodka disappeared and just came right back. And when I say Vodka, people love that because they want to see what Vodka been doing. So
Okay.
basically, season 3, you'll have way more known bounce artists on this episode, on this season, shall I say. It's gonna be good.
And I hope I get a chance to interview some of them when they come on the show.
You will.
Oh,
You
good. So
will.
they gonna come here?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why we set it up well after each episode, boom, opinionated with a side of shade. And so
Okay.
throughout the whole season, that's how we're gonna do it. Once the show go
Okay.
off, this show is gonna come on.
Um, Someone said her name is Sin, and y'all, I'm gonna drop the link. So if y'all in the chat, I will drop the link so y'all could come up and talk to Buck and ask him some questions because he love getting questions.
Love
But
them.
no, it won't be a reunion this time. He's going dead into season 3 of the
Yes.
Bounce Awards.
Yeah, so what, and the reason why I want everything to add up, I don't think season 2 gave what it should have gave, right? And if we did have a reunion, it won't be that much. It really be like a waste of time. You feel what I'm saying? And another thing that I told the cast as well, like y'all didn't get season 1 roll. Season 2, it felt like y'all just was waiting for me to do everything. And y'all didn't really give the people a show. You feel me? So before I waste my time and waste y'all time just looking for stuff, we just gonna cut straight and get straight to season 3. Now, all of that baggage that from season 2, when we do the reunion in season 3, now it's gonna be a little bit more season because
Okay.
we got to start where we left off at and then get to 3.
Okay. So I do have another question. So like, are you bringing new people onto season 3?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes, we're bringing new people. We're not gonna say it. We don't want to. I just want to see that first episode and boom. We also have artists that's at each other's neck. Like right now, there's like beef between Viney and Vicky Lowe, Teasy. What happened is there's a bounce version of Santana's Quiet on a Creek.
Okay.
And so you have all these bounce artists that remixed it. And so they're beefing with each other saying who did it first. You feel me? So I would love to get them on the show because that would definitely drive the ratings through the roof.
Yeah, it would.
Yep.
So I everybody could put out their version and let everybody feel and kind of guess, kind of deal with the song that they want to listen to.
Correct. But that's the thing in New Orleans, man. I love my city. I love bounce. It's just we just can't figure it out. And what I mean by figure it out, just how to come together. So what if you made your version? I made my version. I'm gonna just push my shit harder.
I really
But
want to interview Bonnie too. Bonnie got a
oh,
story.
Bonnie
So
definitely have a story. Bonnie have a
yeah.
story.
I'm just glad they're gonna have more and more people coming to celebrate the bounce culture in New Orleans. But and
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot to do with it. You're like the glue that puts them all together. And
Yep.
I don't think a lot of people know that about you. That you kind of hold a whole lot of them together. Anywhere you go in New Orleans, if you ask them who is Tim White Buck, they'll tell you. But as far as putting them out there, putting their face out there, you do a good job of it.
And that's why I'm doing the awards, because you want to preserve things. And in
Yes.
the efforts of preserving bounce music, you have to acknowledge the talent that the artist is putting out there, and then you want to award them. And so that's why I'm doing this award show, because like when I came up, I was doing a lot and I wasn't getting acknowledged for it.
Hmm.
So it's only right that we acknowledge people so they can keep it going. And it makes people want to work harder and
Hmm.
keep it going.
And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add right quick, in case y'all don't know who Buck is, but you know his song. I'm gonna share my screen so y'all could hear his song right quick, and that way you could get familiar with who he is. Let me go to this one. Yeah. Okay. This is Buck's song. Okay. 55. And I know y'all done heard it.
You got the songs queued up.
Okay. Let me stop it. Okay, so I just wanted to them to hear who you was because your song is all over the place. In fact, Buck, let me make you laugh. Don't talk about me. When I was going to, I like when I interview the people who I'm interviewing. I like to go get their song so they could put a the song with the person because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times they don't know who made the song. I didn't know you made that song.
Yep. I mean,
I
a lot.
still see people doing TikToks to that
Yes.
song.
Yes.
I was just like, I had no idea Buck made this song, but yeah.
Right. Well, I'm gonna give you something better than that. I have a song called "Drop and Give Me 50" that Warner Brother Mike Jones and Hurricane Chris made. So if
Oh,
you go
okay.
to "Drop and Give Me 50" Mike Jones, I'm on that song. You'll see that was my original song. So they paid me to buy the song, the rights to the song. So that come from me. Also, Grace's Corner. I get a check from Grace's Corner quarterly as well because of
Okay.
"Drop and Give Me 50."
And I remember the song Drop and Give Me 50. I
Mm,
remember that. But
Yep.
I had no idea that you made that song.
I made a lot of them.
So one of the audience members, Sin, you want to come up here and just talk with us while I interview him? You can do that. You don't have to turn your camera on, but you could come up here and talk if you want to. Just let me know in the comments. But she
What's up,
said,
Memphis?
oh, you see her comment?
Yeah.
So, Buck, I have some questions for you um, about season two. How did y'all come up with the wrap up of season two?
Oh, so the wrap up was more of everybody was lazy. You feel me? What and let me tell you, sometimes when you help people, you can cripple them. Right? Let me
Okay,
give you where I'm going at. And so a lot of things that they could have been doing, they wasn't because they're used to me doing them. So a
mm-hmm.
lot of events I was creating them, or either I was invited to an event and then I'm inviting them to an event. Like when we went to Houston, that was my
Mm-hmm.
concert, but I allowed them to come perform for me. So
I
if I'm not doing nothing, they're not doing nothing. And so I feel like I sort of crippled them by giving them too much of where they didn't have to work. All they had to do was just wake up, tag along, and then come. And so when I noticed that, I'm like, you know what? We need to scale back because they need to see what it's like to work and grind and go out there and get it.
mm-hmm.
Because when you do it so much, then what happened when I decide to go do something else? They cripple. They don't know how to do it or whatnot. So I
That's
just feel
true.
like, I need to fall back and allow them to get their life back and get their career and pursue the career that they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it, right? And then come back hopefully for season 3. Y'all ready to give us some content?
Okay. So anybody come in with some new songs for season 3?
That's what they say. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Well, they know in order for season 3, I mean, you got to have some new content. So
Right.
if you are artist and you don't have no new song, then I'm pretty sure you don't have no new content.
So
And
do
we
you
definitely
think
gonna make this about the music.
so you're gonna have P Tomo
Yes,
directing this time?
yes, yeah, yeah. Co-directing. He'll be helping me out.
Look, Kwame! Oh, my mic is low. Hey, Kwame!
Oh, Kwame, what's up, Kwame, baby? And
He
shouts out to
sounds good.
Kwame, man. Kwame came through when we came with the idea of the LGBTQ. Kwame, man, Kwame stay busy. Kwame is always busy. This
I
is
gotta
his
get
thing.
Kwame
Yeah.
up here. He don't Kwame, you don't have to put on your camera, but you gotta come up here. I'm about to drop the link. Go ahead,
But
Buck, you
Kwame
were
came
saying?
through, man. He takes time out of his schedule to get the show for LGBT NOLA. And so in fact they about to they about to wrap up, they about to have a reunion. I can't wait for that. You feel me? I know that's gonna roll.
Do
You
you
feel
have to
me?
film it? Do you have to film the reunion?
I think Kwame, I'm leaving it up to him. I think he should want to, because there's a lot of tension there. There's a lot of tension within that cast where that reunion is gonna roll.
Yeah, I gotta get Kwame up in here so we could go ahead and talk about it right quick. Let me get this link dropped, y'all. Buck, I got a question for you. While I'm doing that, let me ask him another question.
Uh-huh.
Who was Tim Warburg before the music?
The same person, I'm an entertainer.
Hmm.
That's what I just tell people. Before, I was doing a movie called Dead Man Walking in 1994, 95. Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins came to the St. Thomas to film a movie, and the movie was called Dead Man Walking. Now, they were white people in a black neighborhood, and they were looking for to cast black people, and I helped them to find people for the
For
film,
the
right?
film? Okay.
Yes, and then they had this big role where they were looking for a kid to play Herbie. So I'm going around the whole project trying to find that kid. Well, since I found the majority of the cast, they awarded me and gave me that role. And at that time, I was getting $500 a day to film. And so that was my life anyway. And so right after the movie, we started doing my own movie. I had a good camcorder that they gave me or whatnot. And then that led to the music. So before the music, I was still entertaining. So that's why I say I'm entertainer.
Okay. That's pretty good. That
Yep.
was a good story. For
Yep.
real. Okay. So I have another question. Where did the nickname Tentwar Buck come from?
That's a great question. So um coming up, my nickname was Buck Eyes because I had big old eyes. You feel what I'm saying? And so they just called me Buck Eyes and Buck Rogers. As I got older, they dropped the eyes and the Rogers and just started calling me Buck. But then I did a song called "Get Your Drawers Out Your Booty." That was my first song. Yeah, so me and my partner Dwayne, we'll go around the project and we'll see different girls and we'll say, "Lil Keisha, get your drawers out your booty." Say what? I get your drawers out your booty. I say, "Lil Terry, get your drawers out your booty." Say what? And it became a hit in the project. And there was this big old block party in the St. Thomas. Jubilee was DJing, and
Hmm.
somebody told him I wanted to perform. Now I ain't want to perform, they just told him that. But anyway, he said, up next I'm about to bring Tin Wall Buck. And that's how I got the name. Jude called me Tin Wall Buck on the stage. So I got the name from DJ Jubilee.
I think that's neat. That's a
Yeah,
beautiful story. That's
yeah.
an amazing story because to get Jubilee at the time, and if y'all don't know who Jubilee was, he made the song. Come on, bud, give it to me.
Get ready, get ready,
Get
get
ready,
ready,
get ready,
ready.
ready.
Say,
Yeah.
girl, don't you do that. I say, boy, don't you do that. Yeah. That he also got the
Yes.
Stop Pause song. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
And he
yeah.
also had a full dance to go with it. And so that song was so popular, it was all over the place, and everybody wanted to learn the song. But to me, besides the Harlem Shuffle and before the Cupid Shuffle, you always had the Jubilee song. So,
All the colleges was playing it. Yes.
mhm. Okay, so I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
If you can describe the tent wire buck, I mean, if you could describe tent wire buck in 3 words, what would it be?
Um, caring, humble, and appreciative.
Okay, all right, and I believe it. Just from knowing you and knowing who you are, I definitely believe that.
Yep.
I know that for sure.
Yep.
Okay, what life lessons from New Orleans still guides you today?
Um, go out and do it. And the reason why I say that, there are several times where I'm inside thinking about doing something, right? And if I don't do it, then I'm constantly thinking and I'm still thinking. Well, when you're thinking and that takes up time from you doing something else, right? When you go out there and do it, then you'll see the results.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you can't just sit there and think. You feel what I'm saying? You put it together and then you got to go out there and do it. So the life lesson that I learned in New Orleans is that if you're thinking about something, as long as it's positive and you want to do it, you got to go out and experience and test it out.
I just dropped the link. So if y'all want to come up, the link is available.
Come on up.
So just come on up. I'll see you when you get up here and I'll add you to the screen. So the link I just dropped it. Just go ahead and look in the chat. You'll find it. It says this is the link. I'll show you right here. It says www.streamyard.com and it has those keys. I mean those numbers in the back of it. But that's the
You,
link.
you know the key to this thing is you want to spread the wealth. You feel me? And I don't mind helping other people and make sure other people get paid. You feel me? If I get $1, you're gonna get 50 cents.
Hmm.
You feel me? I'm not a gatekeeper. And if you think about it, bounce for me, I've been doing it since '96, right? 30 years later, and I'm still here and I'm still relevant. And that's because I'm not selfish. You feel me? I always want to help people. I'm gonna make it about me. Sometimes if I can take the backstage, I do it. So a whole lot of production, a lot of things that's been going on really was me. But I'm like, you know what? I'd rather somebody else because that's what they want to do, right? I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. You feel me? But I just want to help people get to where they need to get at. So the whole key to this is, being humble, being grateful, right? Being caring, and then you just help people move on. You feel me?
I think that you and Kwame, the team, everybody who you work with is truly amazing.
Thank you.
Y'all some really good people, and to even give me an opportunity, I'm so blessed. Hey Kwame, how you doing?
Great. How's it going?
It's
What's up,
going. It's
Quam?
going.
What's up, Buck? What's up,
I'm
baby?
coolin', coolin', man. I gotta call you with some fucking damn good news. You know I'm gonna call you when I get off here.
Okay, okay. I gotta check it out.
Yeah,
This is
I'm gonna say we
amazing.
picked up a major sponsor today.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So Kwame, how you been? You ready for your reunion?
Wait, give me one. Let me close out the YouTube. So I'm getting uh.
Feedback. Okay.
Wait, give me 1 second.
Okay. So Buck, I got another question.
Uh-huh.
What life lessons? Oh, I asked you that. What kept you out of trouble, or did it?
Um,
Growing up in New Orleans.
ignoring foolishness,
Okay.
because every time I got in trouble is because when I entertained it. What people do is people like to pick at you, right? People don't have nothing against you, but they pick at you because they want that attention.
Hmm.
You feel me? And they had one guy for sure that always picked at me, but he told my best friend Lucky, he said, man, tell you the truth, I ain't got nothing against Buck. I'm
Hmm.
just trying to get my name out there. You feel me? So sometimes you gotta ignore, like as for me, going back and forth with somebody that don't do it for me. So if you want to fuss and shout my name or whatever, you can have that. You feel me? 9 times out of 10, if you beefing with me, I'm pretty sure you beefing with somebody else. Right? So those other people will go back and forth with you while I'm right here in peace, just moving forward. So basically, just not entertaining foolishness.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with your questions because I'm gonna start asking both of y'all some of the same questions. But right now
Okay.
we got the producer of LGBT, NOLA, up on the screen. Kwame, the director. How you feeling, Kwame?
I'm great. I'm great. How's everything?
It's good. It's good. So, what you want to tell us about your first season filming a reality show?
Well, one thing is that it's so good to work on a project that's based around New Orleans culture. That's the main thing. And one thing that Buck always did, he always highlighted and broadcast the culture of our city. A lot of people they leave the city and they jump on projects here and there. And and I travel a lot, and I know a lot of people in industry, and you never know where they're from. Because everybody kind of like is melting pot in Atlanta, melting pot in Chicago, whatever, or Hollywood. But you never know where they are because they blend in the cultures that they're working in. But one thing about Buck is he always will let you know this is our city. New Orleans is our home, and this is what we do. One thing is, I went to acting school. In acting school, we had to, they taught us to lose our dialect, to lose our accent. We couldn't sound like we was from New Orleans. So I say that to say that one thing is, I love working with Buck because he allowed me to show the hood and the city where I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, so overjoyed when he asked me to come on board to work with him on the LGBT show because I worked on many shows. I worked on Big Frida show for years. I worked on Queer as Folk. I worked on Mona Scott shows. I worked on Tyler Perry stuff. And one thing, working on Mona Scott stuff, she was like, hey, I really want to do a show with, New Orleans people, but I don't know who they are. I don't know who's popular. I don't know this. I don't know that. So years ago, maybe about 5 7 years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, I created a trailer, for for Mona Scott and her team. They looked at it like, okay, it look pretty good, but what other cast members you have? Because back then I selected, some older cast members. I don't want to say their name, but there was some older Bones cast members, New Orleans hip hop cast members, that I put in the trailer. So when I resubmitted the second one, I put in some younger people, like Super Bad and Hassan and some younger bounce people.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is, in order for New Orleans culture to be seen, we have to broadcast shows like the Bounce Show.
Mm-hmm.
We have to broadcast LGBT NOLA show. We have to broadcast that because if not, nobody gonna ever know what's going on in New Orleans. They're not gonna know who's who. They're not gonna really understand the culture except what they hear on the radio or what they hear, in the music. We have to show the elements of our characters, of
Yep.
our personalities, of
Mm-hmm.
our people.
Yes.
So when Bug brought me on, I was elated. I'm like, I could finally have a chance to come on board and take my skills that I've been working with on shows and production and films and TV shows for 20 plus years and apply it to a show that I can say, this is my people, this is my culture finally.
Correct.
You know.
And we want to be authentic, and to piggyback off what he's saying, you have other people that's coming here stealing what we doing, right? So
Right,
why would
absolutely.
we fake or change what we doing? We gotta stay original. You
Mm-hmm.
see, and I got tired of people saying, "Okay, Buck, I need you to do this, but I need you to do it this way." Well, if I do it your way or the way you asking, it's not real.
Right.
You see, and
Mm-hmm.
then once Kwame came on, and I seen how well I already knew how Kwame worked, right? But I never seen Kwame work as the boss, as the guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I seen him do it that way, ask him, I don't tell him nothing. I just wait for Tuesday to watch the show. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
good about that because not too often where you can have somebody that you can depend on that's going to give it the way it should be given. And he didn't change nothing. He didn't have nothing fake. He gave you what the cast gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Kwame, your accolades are like some of the accolades you just would never think that a person would have. I was so humbled when I met you and Buck because I already knew his accolades was like off the chart being from Louisiana. But when you started telling me a little bit more about what you did and who you worked with, I was like, wow, that's amazing. I really was like struck, like starstruck, because
And a lot of stuff, I don't even post. I'm not a big social media person. Never was. I really started doing social media within the past few years.
Mhm.
But a lot of stuff I do, people have no clue about. Like the Super Bowl that was in New Orleans, I was the halftime show stage manager. Like I have
Well,
video from, yeah, I have video from the entire week when we practiced the halftime show. The entire week for the Super Bowl. I have video from when we was preparing.
mhm.
You know, but we signed agreements that we not supposed to post it. We had NOPD police officers. They were recording the rehearsals, and they were terminated off the job. They were removed outside of the Superdome because nobody was supposed to record
Supposed to
anything.
record.
So there
And
was a
you
lot
talk
of secrecy. Mhm.
you're talking about the one with Kendrick Lamar, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Exactly. Right. Right. And we, this is a little secret. The way I was able to record some stuff was I put my phone on my ear like I was talking, but
Mhm.
actually I was recording because we were not supposed to record
Record.
anything from the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
pre-show, during the show, or post-show. I have video when I was directing the guys on the stage, like move faster, move faster.
Mhm.
And when the officer saw I was recording, like, man, put your phone up. You're not supposed to record. Put your phone up. So it's a lot of stuff like that I do that, I can't show behind the scenes because we're not supposed to. But a lot of stuff I do it's not seen. But my main thing, I'm just in it to make the money. I ain't in it to rub elbows. I already know a lot of celebrities. I'm just in
Yep.
it to make the money, and I'm just glad now that I can be in it now to show the lifestyle of our city.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying the accolades go far. You're on so many projects. I mean, that is crazy. You just did Essence as well, right?
Yeah, I did Essence. I was rolling with my girl Eva.
Yeah.
And we text pretty often. And that's people that I was with her what 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Hmm.
And when you with people like that, they don't want groupies around them.
Right.
They
They
want
just
people
want.
who are genuine in the industry. They
Right.
don't want anybody who's trying to get selfies all the time and come on, let's take a video and post. Them people ain't about all that stuff. They're not about all that. They want loyal, genuine people. Like we was down here, man. We were just rolling out to eat. We went to Neo's, we went to Drago's, we just chilling, Joseph. Not asking to for no picture, none of that stuff. And
Mhm.
that's why a lot of people like coming to the city because the city is not really starstruck.
Correct.
We went to different restaurants, and people like, oh, look, Eva, can we get a picture? I'm like, hey, you can't get a picture right now. She's eating. Okay, and they kept it moving. But if you go to Hollywood and Atlanta, man, they'll break their neck, when they see a star. But this city is so laid back and so relaxed. The main thing is, when Bug brought me on to really do the show, I really didn't have time. And actually, I put him off a few months. Like, Bug, I don't know, I don't have time. But then I'm like, okay, after Bug kept saying, look, we got to do it, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Bug had the energy, and I appreciate his energy. I'm like, guess what? If he doing a bone show, and he about doing this LGBT show, then let's do it. So I made the time.
Yep.
And and one thing with this show is, we didn't have any funding. It was really just a pilot show.
Hmm.
So in this situation is, we're doing everything ourselves.
Yep.
With the bounce show, Bug in front of the camera, Bug behind the camera, Bug going through litigation. He got to edit. And he dealing with his family. That is a big job,
That is.
a stressful job when you have your family life that's putting you through the ringer. Then you got the show putting you through the ringer. Then you got a stupid ass production crew that's trying to gatekeep your artistry.
That's it.
Buck went through a lot of stuff.
Hmm. And so, but how? And it's a pretty personal question, but how do you balance the two, the personal life and all the work that you do? Because you do a lot,
Well,
and you still have a job, right?
right. Yes, I do.
Hmm.
Well, not only is the world watching, my kids are watching,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so you don't want people to see you as a failure, right? I have a lot, and I've helped a lot of people, right? I know what I can do. And so that's why I'm doing it again. And I'm going to keep doing it because I know in the end, if there's an end or where there's an end, there's a gift for me and for everybody. You see, so you just keep going. You don't let nothing stop you. I got my family time here, and then I got my work life. And then you just balance them on out. And if I'm at work and I got to take a family call, that's what I'm going to do. Or for my family, I got to just balancing them out.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
Yep.
It's a lot because he have his family life and he have his work life. Then you like say on top of it, he's filming the show. Him and Cole, they actually filming the show. It's not like we have a big production crew. Not like we have three camera operators. A microphone person, an editor, a person doing the graphics, the person doing colorization, the person doing sound, a person doing the. I mean, this is a big job. We actually doing a TV show as just one person doing everything, two people doing
Correct.
everything. And that's extremely hard. Like, I travel a lot. I'm always in the airport editing. I'm on the plane editing. The people like, hey, come put up your laptop. I'm like, damn, all right, give me 1 minute. So I'm putting a finishing touch on the show. I'm on set of another film, sitting on the side editing, making phone calls. And one of the things that can be, really, condescending when you have, some of the cast members talking about your artistry. They're not putting forth the all in it. They're not supporting it. They're not posting it. So that's one thing that can be, disheartening. When you put your all into something, but the people that putting out in the open, it's kind of like they brushing it off.
Yep.
Like their name is not that big to brush it off. Like like right now, all of my cast members saying, man, everywhere we go, people want pictures. Of course, I mean, we had over
Yeah.
30,000 who
People
only saw the
watch
first
it.
episode.
First up, yep.
Y'all
Right
basically
now,
made
Chosen
them
is in Atlanta.
famous. Yeah.
Yeah, Chosen Atlanta. Chosen all in Atlanta. Chosen was already known. He was already big, which was one of the main reasons why I was glad he was on the show. But now, he was all in Atlanta, in Houston, and everybody like, man, we saw you on the show. We saw you on the show. I mean, so we made them an even larger celebrities.
A
So
bigger
they have a
platform.
responsibility to respect our craft, respect the show, respect the decisions, as well as market and post the show.
Right.
But a lot of them, they didn't follow through with that.
And that was my answer to her when she asked me what was my conclusion on ending season two. And I was like, of all of these things I'm doing, they not showing no appreciation. I'm
Right.
doing everything. I'm thinking, I'm filming, I'm editing, I'm doing all this. And then they're not even doing their part. So it was better for me just to shut it down and start with a new crew of
Hmm.
people that's going to work hard and then appreciate everything that I'm doing. Because like Kwame said, these shows put them further.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Hmm.
And they hit a state.
And what they don't realize with that either is that that same show could be submitted to something like the Roku channel, because Roku actually allow you to make your own app on there.
Yep.
Right.
Pluto,
Hmm.
what's the other one? Tubi, all that could be
Hmm.
submitted. You just gave them a bigger platform and something else on their resume.
Right. That's
People don't understand how strong that makes your resume. So when you go out to do
Hmm.
something else, if you guys ever do submit it and put it out on TV for more people to watch, you never know what comes from that opportunity. So why mess it up when you have an opportunity like this? I could
yep.
never
Right.
do it.
And we know with season two, we're going to close out season one very soon. We're going to have our last episode show next Tuesday, and then we're going to immediately jump into the reunion. We're going to still talking to everybody about their schedules. Some cast members, few of them don't want to come to the reunion because they don't like the way the show made them look, all that kind of shenanigans, whatever it is. Whoever comes to the reunion, good. If not, we're going to keep moving. We're going to make it happen, but we're not just going to hold the show up for one, two, or three, or four people, whatever it is. We're going to
Right.
move forward. We're going to, have the reunion, close the show out. We're going to, jump on season two with a few new people that's going to bring new energy, fresh
Yep.
energy. We're going to do it big. I mean, the main thing is the show is going to constantly climb. We're going to
Hmm.
constantly climb, and we never intended on having the exact same cast. I mean, we always there's so many personalities in New Orleans that we have to show. From trans man, trans woman, butch queen, and all the other stuff, all the other titles they put on themselves. There's so many other people that we have to highlight in the city.
Yep.
And that's what we're gonna do. Season
And
two
they
is gonna
want to
show
do it.
new
They
people.
want to do it. You have people that really want. So the ones that's walking away,
Absolutely.
they're really doing us a favor,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
y'all wasn't giving anyway.
And
Right. And by me, working in the industry, we have people who way more popular. Like, man, you should have put me on the show. Man, you should have put me on the show. I'm like, but hey, we can put you on the show, but I can tell you right now, we don't have a budget to pay you. Man, I'll do it for free. I mean, we have really big people with big names in the city that felt they should have been on the show, and they felt some type of way that we didn't pull out the big names in the city first, but we just had a cast call and we just quickly started it. We didn't have
Correct.
time to really negotiate and recruit the big names in New Orleans. Because when you recruit the big names in New Orleans, you got a lot of negotiation back and forth, and we just had the time to do that. We wanted to
And you
jumpstart the
got
show, get it going, and that's what we did.
it's
Right. Because you
gonna
got to get the
grow.
idea because talking is one thing. And if we telling them they really don't see vision. So we really had to go ahead and shoot it and throw it out there so they can see it.
But it's only gonna
Right.
grow. The show was good. It's only gonna grow. And I mean,
Hmm.
you don't have to be, that's another thing. You don't have to be like a baddies or the bad boys, all that fighting. I think that's so old and played out because there's so
Hmm.
much more to our black people. And then you're putting a focus on the city. Show them how the city turn up. You know what? And also
Right.
showcase your talent.
Yep.
You
Hmm.
just don't have to do that no more. And it's time for people to come with something more original because I don't want to see nobody continue to get hurt or blood everywhere. That's like they're making you savages to just get a opportunity to shine and actually show who you are. So
Right. And
Not just that,
there's
you can't
different
get that far
audiences.
either because you not getting no bookings off you fighting. You see, you're going to get more bookings off your talent. You feel me? What can you bring to us? What can you do for us other than that fighting shit?
and
And some sponsors don't want to be associated with a
and
show that
that's what I
has
was
all that
about to say.
negativity.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
that hurt us, in a
Correct.
certain way. And that's why
Correct.
I'm so glad, that second fight we had, that it's not shown. We're not gonna show that stuff. I mean, if there's, the thing is when you read the comments, there's the audience that want to see that. Kind of like the WWE of reality TV
Yeah.
show. We're not doing that. If that audience wants to see that, look at the first episode.
It's
Right.
Look at the
good
first episode and
sometimes, but
look at
after
that
that,
fight.
it just be too much for me. Like
Yeah.
the stuff to even watch the shows where they're picking the people. You know how y'all started off picking your cast. Even when you see
Hmm.
that,
You had them auditioners and then the big old fighting fusses and all that.
they don't even talk. They
Right.
just pick somebody and hit them, and I'm just like,
Right.
man, come on. But Tommy was saying that too. Tommy said you never see. He's like opinionated. You never ever see one of those people with a direct endorsement deal or out there
Mm-mm.
promoting Adidas or Starbucks or something like that. You just
Mm-mm.
never see it. It's like all they have is those reality show. I mean that reality show, and that's how he traps them. That's how
Right.
he trap him.
Right. And that's kind of like a hood mentality. It's a trap hood mentality that, just go on there and fight, fight, fight. After the show, fight some more and post, mean and negative comments and all that stuff online and keep that sensationalization going. Which is not right, and that's the main thing that we don't want our either one of our shows to have and to
Right.
be. Well, the WWE reality TV show. We don't want that.
Yeah, and I'm
And
glad
definitely,
y'all changing the game too, cause I
yeah,
enjoy watching a reality show. I wait for it to come on. Besides when I
right.
started doing this, I was watching it, getting ready for my show and watching it in the background. But other than that, I'll be so happy to see my people and y'all just do such a good job. You still have the little bit of drama without the fighting. But
Yep.
I
But we
got a
have some
question.
really good people, some new members for season two that you're gonna love.
Hmm.
We already started negotiation with them, and they are board, and so they're gonna commingle with the ones that's already on there, and it's gonna be a very flavorful show.
Hmm. Yeah. And the only other thing I wanted to say on that topic is everybody's so concerned about money. It's gonna come with time. But sometimes
Hmm.
build your character before you worry about your pockets. Everybody was like, they do that to get the bag fast, but money flows out of the black community in less than 1 hour. So
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the turnaround rate on money, Sometimes it'll help if you build your character and then worry about the
Hmm.
money. I'm
And the
I'm
crazy
like that.
thing, most of them have a talent, but by the time the show got is over, they done fought so much that they forgot that I ain't even let the people know I can bake, I can cut hair, I can do
Right.
that. You see?
Yeah.
So now you
That's
done
so
did all
true.
this. Come on, man. Let the people know. Today alone, today, I picked up a major sponsor for the Bounce Awards just off my resume and what I do. That's it. I ain't have to mention nobody else. When I walked in, I just told a dude my name was Buck, right?
Hmm.
And he said, 10 Walk Buck. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit. He said, man, I admire you. And then, boom, it was good. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what they got to do, man. You got to use your talent. When you get the eye on you, use your talent. Don't use that extra stuff that you made up because you're not even known for fighting. But now all of a sudden you're on the show
Mhm.
fighting. Like, what?
Right.
Nah.
Right. Right. And the main thing, we want to entertain the audience. It's all about entertainment. But while you entertain the audience, you have to show your craft. You have to show your
Yep.
actual skills. You have to show what you possess. And really, everybody on the LGBT NOLA show, they all have independent skills.
Right.
They all have kind of like their own companies, but a lot of it's not highlighted because it all got distracted in the
Yep.
other foolishness.
Yep.
And
And
unfortunately, it's too late to go back and show what everybody do. It's too late now. And that's why we're just gonna move on. Whatever y'all know about the characters, that's good. But we're gonna move on to another season. Another season gonna show what's on it to show.
yeah, and that's why I'm so thankful for y'all giving me the opportunity. I don't care about no money. That don't make me. I think y'all giving me the opportunity to interview each one of your cast members so they could get a so the audience could get a closer and personal relationship with them. That's all you can ever get with promoting. You can actually tell people more about yourself. Portia came in, did an amazing interview, and she felt good giving her, just giving her a chance to get there and explain herself, plus getting her frustrations out, just being able to talk about some things. She felt good about it. And and Quan and Simone was my best interviews. I loved them. Yeah, I really
Good.
did. But
That's good.
I wanted to ask y'all, what's one of the funniest things that ever happened backstage?
Oh, for me,
um,
is is whenever is just drunk. I don't know if he's drunk or whatever, but is when the camera stops, he's just talking. Just for me, is off camera is really funny.
Yeah,
I like
what I know it is definitely funny. And a lot of stuff, we may be packing up to record or whatever it is, and now I'm like, okay, should we pull out the camera and record this? I'm like, we can't record everything, but I mean, a lot of behind the scenes stuff is definitely funny. And a lot of times, you may see them, beat in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, it's like they're cool.
Correct.
They're laughing and joking. But one thing is when that was funny to me is when we went to his event, his little speakeasy thing.
right.
Everybody was there, and everybody like, oh wow, like we in something big. It's almost like they didn't really anticipate on being, in a little classy type place, with red velvet chairs and
Hmm.
is what everybody drinks and you're like, okay, is like they really respected is. You saw a different side of everybody. Because now it
Hmm.
wasn't like just no crazy hood stuff. It's not standing in the corner and shake your ass. You saw them in a more classy type area. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to show more. Them in, upscale areas, just like how on the last episode that's coming out, we have them, on the runway. And with that, Kwame was like, well, I don't know, if I want my chest out or my titties out, and I don't want to put on the dress, like just behind, you saw like the concern
Yeah.
about it, that Quan was kind of like wasn't sure how they was gonna dress him.
Hmm.
And Iz came with his own outfit. The guy was like, no, 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 we have our own. Like it's just a lot of funny stuff behind the scenes that we really don't get a chance to show.
Hmm.
But it's entertaining. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. That the Pride episode, y'all did a really good job at showcasing how New Orleans Pride take place. I thought you did an excellent job with that episode. So I
Thank you.
enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
Kwame the truth. Kwame been the truth. Ben, me and Lucky got together, we first started filming. We ran across Kwame, or we couldn't let him go.
Yeah,
Kwame
I
does
started
talk.
working. I started working with Lucky. I must have been like in my like maybe 21, 22 ish. We started filming It's All Good in the Hood.
Hmm.
And and that show showed like the true grit of New Orleans. We interviewed like Soldier Slim, BG, and Juvenile. We was in Tipitinas in the back, and it just showed the love that they had for just showing New Orleans culture as it is. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, I've been rolling with them ever since. Buck allowed me to film his video. What video was that, Buck? In front of the
You
chicken
just
store?
make it jump.
Yeah, make a jump. We had Magnolia Shorty was in that too, right?
Yep.
Yep, Magnolia Shorty was in that video. So I mean, we've been rolling for 20 plus years.
Yep.
And that's before
We
she
all
passed
busy
away.
working on different productions,
Before
but
she passed
you
away.
know,
Yep. That was one of the
yeah,
last
before she
videos she
passed
was in
away.
before she passed away.
Wow.
She looked beautiful in that video. It was really good work
Buck,
with
I
her.
wanted to talk to y'all about that because I saw Justin Combs using her voice. I see a lot of people
A
using
lot
her
of people.
voice. And I'm like, where's her people and her royalties? Because
Well, I
y'all
think
making
I
billions
think
off that.
they got it together though. I think
Okay.
yeah. Now I'm sure this people family they definitely have it together. I can
Okay.
tell you that.
Okay. Okay, I have another question for y'all. Well, but this one is for you. Have you ever forgotten the lyrics of your song while you was performing it?
Of course. I mean, I have so many because remember, I'm not just writing for me. I write for other people as well. Especially look at Kwame. Especially like I just had something at school at Fullshit, right? And they wind up playing one of my old songs. I'm like, man, I know you ain't doing this. You feel me? So one, if you ain't prepared and they just throw it on, but then two, I'm doing so much. Then
Hmm.
yeah, you definitely gonna forget the lyrics.
Plus, your little dance that you do is simple, so you
Oh,
can always just dance it out, right?
there you go.
Okay. Um, all these is about okay. What was the longest night you ever had on tour? Have you had a full tour yet, Buck? Like you've taken everybody on tour?
Well, not really, but I mean, when I took the cast to Atlanta, that was the longest
Hmm.
because, say, Kwame, the ride already long, but
Right,
then
like
I had
what,
a
seven
whole
hours?
cast. Yes, but then I had to ride with Love, and then Love is Big for Kill Sama, and
Ooh,
then we
so much
had J9 and her
personality.
mom. Oh man, that road trip was the longest ever. We
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
never
yeah,
make it to Atlanta, and then we ain't never make it home. It was like forever.
Kwame, you
yeah.
think you're gonna take the people on a road trip this time?
Oh, absolutely. We definitely gonna do it. But one thing I'm accustomed to riding alone. I'm a solo type person, selfish type person.
Hmm.
So just for me itself, it's gonna be a challenge for me. Especially for the cast. I remember when we was filming Frida show, we was out filming on the road somewhere, and I mean just the pressures of you have we had all those personalities, and with Frida show, a, a lot of the people in the show they thought they were bigger than Frida.
I didn't know you
It,
filmed Big Frida reality show.
yeah, yeah, for several seasons. Yeah, and me and Frida, we were very, very close friends.
Okay.
We've been friends, for years. And with that reaction, I remember we was in the club until like maybe freaking like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. We left that, went to the hotel, and everybody tired. And I'm the one who had to wake everybody up like 6, 7 o'clock to get up. You leaving it so hard to get everybody out of bed because they're so tired, they're so drunk, they're so high, and I had to be the sober one to try to. I mean, it was like pulling teeth. I mean,
Yeah.
so that role life can be extremely hard,
Hmm.
especially when you're dealing with so many egos.
I
Yes.
told Tommy, I was like, Tommy, I said, why don't you talk to Kwame about New Orleans versus Atlanta? I said that would be good. That would be good in the
Oh
future.
wow.
I think that would be something that would be good. You have a big house. Well, I don't know if you could just do a big house because that's some
Yeah.
personalities. But
Oh, that would be something else. That would
yes,
really be something else.
Atlanta versus New Orleans, because you know they both have a y'all both have a big LGBT scene. So
Right, right. And so many of them think that, they culture better and that culture better. They copying off us. No, they copying off us. No, we more no, y'all more no. Our fashion better. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of drama.
Definitely.
It'll be fun though. It'll definitely be good for TV. But it's gonna be definitely a lot of challenges
I
doing
think if
that.
that happened, that'd be fire to do it during the week where the Saints play Atlanta. Oh Lord, that'd be so fire.
yeah, that
Oh,
would that
Because there's
would.
already a lot of tensions right there.
Hmm.
when I'm in
And
Atlanta, I
imagine
always
all
wear
the
my Saints.
places that got stuff going on, and you filming a reality show with New Orleans versus Atlanta too. Yeah, that'll be dope.
Hmm.
Okay,
Now,
so I have
one thing in
some
Atlanta
rapid.
is they
Go
have
ahead.
stricter laws in filming. Like a lot of times, when they see cameras and mics in public, they have they're more strict out there to have a permit to film than down here.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they're strict out there. They'll write you a $200 ticket or whatever ticket and $1,000 ticket in a minute.
Man.
So I got some rapid fire questions, and then I'm gonna get ready to close up. Okay.
All right.
So both of y'all give them to me, right?
Hmm.
Saints or Pelicans?
Saints.
Same.
Okay. Bourbon Street or Frenchman Street?
Frenchman,
For me, bourbon.
Bourbon. Okay. Seafood or barbecue?
Seafood.
seafood.
Studio or stage?
Ooh.
I'll say stage.
Stay. Yeah, stage. Stage.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, night owl.
Same.
Cash or card?
Card.
Card. Card.
Ain't nobody rob
Cook,
me out of my cash.
Eh, Card.
cook or order out?
Order out.
Oh, I'm definitely a cook.
Instagram, TikTok.
Instagram for me.
Mm. Instagram for me, yeah. Instagram.
Jay Z or Lil Wayne?
Oh, now why you did that? Why would you do that? I gotta say, look, come on now. Why would you say that?
That was-
You could have did a little Wayne or
so,
juvenile, but come on
yeah.
now. You know the
Beyonce
answer
or
to
Patti
that.
LaBelle?
Who?
Beyonce or Patti LaBelle?
Patty.
Oh,
Okay.
I would have to say Beyonce.
I knew somebody was gonna say
I'm not. I
Beyonce.
love Patty. I watch Patty videos all day, but Beyonce, she. I mean, she giving me life.
Mhm. Bounce music or R&B?
Boss
Bounce.
music that remixes R&B.
So did y'all like the rapid fire questions?
Yeah, they were good.
That was damn good.
Okay, and so to wrap up um, the interview, I just want to ask, where is it at? What do you want people to take from this interview? When you look back on the interview and all the parts of the interview, what do you feel you want people to take from the interview?
But
Um, to be open minded, right? Be open minded and be willing to work with people. It's not always just about you, it's about a team. There's no I in team.
And I
And
did ask that question wrong, Buck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Is when people turn this interview off tonight, what's
mhm,
the one thing you hope they learn about Tintwar Buck and about Kwame, the director, that they haven't learned yet?
we are open minded. I am open minded. I'm willing to give others exposure.
Hmm.
And like I said before, there's no I in team. I want it to be about us and not me. So if we had to come together and create a company where it represents all of us, then I'm willing to drop the be rich and the buck and all that to make sure we all get acknowledged. So it's all about making sure everybody gets their just due.
And how about you, Kwame?
I would say the main thing is that we're using our expertise and our contacts to build up personalities about a city. We've been known for many years about New Orleans good for this, New Orleans good for that. They have good music, but now it's time for us to step it up. All these other cities, take like Chicago, they have so much filming going on and how they came together. They started filming because you have so many companies came together and they decided to, we're going to invest in ourselves and we're going to, put up ourselves. And right now, that's what this city is doing. You look at the Bounce Awards, like the Bounce Awards, it's showing everybody who's doing something in the city, from cuisines to music. And that's one thing about, I think we're going to do for the upcoming years is we're going to show off what we have in our city.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm so happy y'all did the Bounce Awards. When I first saw that advertised on YouTube, I was like, the Bounce Awards? Because I always type in YouTube and I'll put in New Orleans, Louisiana, or Louisiana, and it'll pull up anything that's happening with anybody that's from the area. And I called my sister. I said, Sherry, I said, they going to have a Bounce Awards. And Sherry was like, for
Hmm.
real? I said, finally.
Yep.
Finally. I said, these people, some of these people are passing away, and they have people don't
Right.
even know that they made that song that they
Yep.
dancing to. I said, it's
Hmm.
time. It is so time. So I'm proud of y'all for coming up with the
And
Bounce
just the
Awards.
quality of the bounce awards, Terry. I mean, from the ones who was on stage,
Hmm.
the look of them. I mean, we didn't want to just do a raggedy award show.
Correct.
We want to make it look like you coming here and it's gonna look like you actually watching an award show on TV.
Hmm. Hmm.
You had the DJ who was on point. You had the screens, you had the lights. Everybody was dressed to impress. I
Yep.
mean, so we want to give a good product to show people, look, this is what we have. We're not gonna do anything regularly. You're gonna come here, you're gonna respect us, and you're gonna come looking like you're ready for an award show. And that's what
Yep.
they did, and that's what we did.
And you know what I enjoyed about it? Y'all showcased new and upcoming artists. I thought that was
Hmm.
amazing because they really had some good songs. You wouldn't have known about them unless you showcased the younger audience, the newer people too. So I thought that was good. Most of the time,
Hmm.
they don't give them that much shine, but y'all did that in the city. So I was
Yep.
like, go ahead.
That's
And the
always been
bounce
my
awards.
thing. That's how we get a chop with Chop because before nobody want to work with Chop. Chop used to always come around the studio. And I'm like, you know what? You can come on my studio session. He like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. He said, well, who gonna do my beat? I said, I'm gonna do your beat. So not only did I pay for his studio time, I also orchestrated the beat and the song and whatnot, which gave him the deal with Take Four, ultimately with No Limit Records. So that's always been me. That's why if you look around the city, most of the big names in the city that came from me because that's what I believe. And I seen something in, a certain person and built them up. So that's how that's supposed to go.
And you know what?
And
Chopper did good. After seeing that No Limit versus Cash Money verses. I was like, go ahead, Chopper. You still look good. Out of all of them, some of them up there was just not on the no limit side. Cause let's be clear, on Cash Money side, they still cash money in it. But I was
Right.
like, on no limit side, I was like, okay, Chop, you still doing your thing. Go ahead.
Yep, that's still
mhm.
doing it.
Um,
Yeah. And just a heads up, the bounce. I don't know if I said the date, but the bounce awards is October of this year.
mhm.
And what's the date, Buck?
October
October,
8th, Thursday, October 8th, one night only.
one night only.
But
So I
y'all
want everybody
also
to get their
having the
tickets in
Bounce
advance.
Fest, right? The Bounce
Yep.
Yep.
Fest that's leading up to it. Y'all having the press day, and what else y'all having?
And then also the first ever DJ battle. We have two hot DJs and DJ Tap Out and Showboy CJ real hot. So we're gonna do a New Orleans bounce versus DJs with them two. So all of
Okay.
those events gonna lead up to the Bounce Awards.
Okay. I do think it's good that y'all showcasing the DJs too, because you got Black and Mild. You have I didn't forgot Mouse and Levels from
Everybody's
Baton
invited.
Rouge. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So and they always behind the scenes making it happen. So
Yep.
okay. It gives. Uh, oh, okay. I think that was it because I don't understand this last question. It says the last question is pure gold. Okay, no, they just telling me what to ask. So Thank y'all for this amount of time. It's
Yep.
about
You're
to hit an
welcome.
hour straight up. I think the interview was amazing. I'm glad that you joined, Kwame. It gave me a chance to talk to both directors of each show, and to hear
Definitely.
your perspectives were amazing. So thank you.
You're
Yep. Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you
It
for
was a
having. All right,
pleasure.
Kwame. I'm about to call you, Kwame.
All
Y'all
right, Buck,
have a
hit me
good
up, baby.
night.
All
Do
right.
the same. All right,
All
Terry, love
right.
you.
Love you.
All right.
The stream is over.